Thank you.
Okay. Again, good morning. My name is Melissa, and we are happy to be here to present to you, just to kind of give you an insight into our office, the Single Stop office, and what we do on campus. We're a small staff. There's 4 of us, and this is us with our glamour shots. Tamika, of course, who's here with us this morning, is our director. She joined us about a little over a year ago, right before the campus shut down. A couple of weeks before the campus shut down, she joined us. So her title is Director of Single Stop and Student Care Network. My name is Melissa, and I've been here for about 4.5 years. I'm the Assistant Director and Financial Education Coordinator. Sharon has been with us for going on 3 years. She's our Single Stop Regional Coordinator. So we have offices not only on the main campus, but also in the Northeast and Northwest campuses as well. So if you ever have any classes there, Sharon is who you would stop in to see if you needed, any assistance from us. Keith is our newest person that's been added to our team, and he started with us in January, and he is our Single Stop coordinator, and he works with the Cattle Scholars. All right, so I just wanted to play this brief video for you all. Kind of gives you an overview of what Single Stop is, not only on our campus, but there are Single Stop offices at community colleges and some 4-year institutions across the country. So this just kind of gives you an overview of that, and you will see some Community College of Philadelphia students, as well as the president of the university, of the institution, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. First, about 3 minutes long.
Today's college students are more diverse than they have ever been, bringing with them a diverse set of needs. Roughly 44% of students are over age 24. More than a quarter of today's students are parents, and many are the first in their family to go to college. Students today are facing barriers to their success in college that have nothing to do with academics.
I did 3 semesters online straight because I didn't have childcare. And that was a struggle because I had an infant, I was breastfeeding, I was all day, all night, a student and a mother at the same time, and managing a household.
To maintain having a child and going to school and maintaining work, it's a lot financially. You have to figure out, okay, am I going to pay this utility or am I going to buy groceries?
Research shows that 36% of students don't know where their next meal is coming from. Nearly 1 out of 8 community college students experienced homelessness in the last year. Single Stop's vision is that all people will have access to the American dream. One of the ways we seek to do that is to partner with colleges and universities to ensure all students have access to the benefits, resources, and services they need to stay in school.
The foundational support that you need to be successful in academics is often lacking. Students suffer from food insecurity, from homeless insecurity, and we try to provide the support so that they can focus on their academics.
It's really about improving student lives, getting them to where they need to get to. A resource like Single Stop can help with that.
Single Stop believes that all people who dream of going to college can enter college and graduate. We are partnering with colleges and universities around the country to make this dream a reality. We believe in the power of possible.
It really began as a framework, a one-stop shop, as we like to call it, for students to come and really avail themselves to the resources that would help break down some of those barriers for success.
We've tried to look at the needs as a whole, to see not only where can we refer students, but what programs can we start or sponsor through Single Stop on campus to meet needs.
Single Stop helps each student build their own network of support. We combine our groundbreaking technology and innovative programming to connect students with the critical resources they must have to succeed. Single Stop is making a difference.
the amount of help that I've been able to get, and also to pass the information on to people, because a lot of people don't know. They're right there. I mean, they help you with housing, funding, everything.
They help me file my taxes for free. They help me receive food stamps, and also they help me get my medical turned back on.
Single Stop gave me the ability to, get that childcare that I needed, to be able to be active on campus the way I am.
They went out of their way here to help me.
And they support everybody here, no matter what.
Since 2007, Single Stop and its partners have connected more than 1.9 million households to more than $6 billion in benefits and resources.
There are a lot of challenges. We really need to think about the student's experience and making the student's experience student-focused.
To keep them afloat, get them through a difficult stage. Every time I meet with a student is, when are you graduating? When are you transferring?
The kind of impact Single Stop and our college partners are experiencing does not happen by chance. People working together with a shared goal and a common purpose can make the impossible possible.
Okay, so that was just a brief overview of what it is that we do and what other colleges across the country are doing to assist students to be able to focus on their education, not worry about, different things like food, how they're going to pay their rent, how they might meet that gap in their tuition bill. So Single Stop at CCP, this is just a couple of highlights of what we've actually done in our own office. So since 2013, we've connected students with nearly $30 million in cash and non-cash benefits. I always say that number twice, $30 million. It's a lot of money. And we're going to talk about what cash and non-cash benefits are, just so you can kind of have a full picture of what I mean when I say that. So students who use Single Stop services have higher GPAs and also higher semester to semester persistence rates. So what that means is not only are their grades higher, but students who utilize our services come back, from semester to semester, they come back and we see them at graduation. Single Stop participants have a higher rate of graduating than students who do not utilize any of our services. So I kind of wanted to ask all of you, I see that there's about 25 of us in here. I wanted to ask all of you, and you can just unmute yourself, to just kind of give me or give Tamika and I an idea of what you think some of the things are that you're going to need money for while you're here at CCP. You can just jump in and say a couple of things.
Yeah.
Hi, Jalen.
Oh, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Books.
Books, right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Anybody else?
My tuition bill.
Tuition. Yep, that's a biggie, of course.
Housing.
Housing. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Also, just food.
Food. Mm-hmm.
Food, of course.
Dishwasher.
Okay. So that kind of goes with like utilities. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything else? All right. That's good. No, that's good. All right. So go ahead, Damir.
I was about to say Medicare, but then
okay.
Yeah, Medicare.
Okay. Yeah, medical, that's important. There's a lot of students who actually don't have insurance, and we're going to talk about that as well, because that can create bills if you don't have insurance, right? So, of course,
take care of a child. I'm sorry.
And yep, childcare. Yep, that's on the list. These things that I have listed here are just some of the expenses, right? Of course, as you go along in your educational journey, you might find that there's other things, from month to month, a situation can change. And that's what we're here to, kind of help fill those gaps in the need that you may have. So of course, someone mentioned tuition, books and supplies, transportation is a big one. technology. So, you know, if you don't have access to internet, or if you don't have a computer at home. Someone mentioned food, of course, and then if there are any of you that are parents in this program, childcare can be an issue. And then, of course, housing and utilities. And there are other things too, but these are like the main things that we tend to see students come in to meet with us to discuss. All right, and next, Tamika is just going to go over some of the services that we provide in our office.
So in our office, we actually can assist with applying for SNAP benefits or food stamps. We also provide food resources. We can do referrals, and I'll talk about emergency funds in a little bit and how emergency funds can help with obtaining food. We also can help with health insurance. Health insurance is Medicaid. If you need help through obtaining insurance through the marketplace, we will contact some of our community partners to see if they're available to assist with that. And that service will be free for students as well. A big one for us is tax preparation. In previous years, we actually had in-person tax prep services, but this year, because of the pandemic, we were virtual. But hopefully, we can return back to in-person tax preparation because our tax preparers actually help students to just the money that they've helped students to obtain, students have actually used to either pay tuition or pay essential housing needs. It's been very helpful for our students. So that's a service that we definitely plan to continue, but we're hoping that because of, you know, if the pandemic allows, that we'll have this service in sight on campus. And I'll tell you exactly where we're located towards the end of this presentation. So just check your emails and periodically just read your Pride Portal posts, and you'll find out when tax preparation season, when we're going to start, if it's going to be virtual or if it's going to be in person. In terms of emergency funds, that's a big one that we offer. Emergency funds actually has specific requirements, but I'll tell you what we can help with, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about the requirements. So we can help with things from assisting students with books, with rental fees, utilities, housing, and well, rental fees or housing. If sometimes students own a home, sometimes students rent. So that's why I just made that little classification there. We can also assist with certain tuition gaps. Now, we are a one-time fund where students can only access us once over a certain period of time. But another big one that a lot of students have requested assistance with is food support. And we can offer food support. Now, our goal is we try to offer emergency food support in terms of financial support, but we also like to connect with the student to complete a SNAP application. So not only are we providing food for a short period of time, hopefully that SNAP application would help us to assist students with obtaining food over a longer term. So in terms of I mentioned some of the requirements for emergency funds. So emergency funds require students to have been enrolled in the previous semester, have a GPA of at least 2.0, and have taken at least 6 credits or be taking at least 6 credits. And then the last requirement is that the student has to have a FAFSA on file with financial aid. So in terms of financial counseling, Melissa, the financial educator and assistant director, she's also the financial educator. Melissa can meet with you one-on-one, and she can provide supports based on if you want to start your savings, or if you want to talk about how to prepare to move out on your own. And Melissa will talk a little bit more about what she does, but she works miracles. So if you ever want to know more, want to speak with Melissa, please, you'll have our information at the end of the presentation. Don't hesitate to reach out. We also offer immigration consultations. Another one is unfair or illegal evictions. That's another one we can connect you with one of our community partners to discuss. We offer behavioral health services. Now, the behavioral health services, we contract with a community organization, and they work specifically with CCP students, and they will follow up with you directly. We make the referral, and then to keep your information private, they work with you directly. So we don't know the outcome of any of your sessions. If this is something you're interested in, we only know if you were able to connect with a counselor or not. And let's see, we can go to the next slide. So also I wanted to mention, when in doubt, if there's a service or resource that you need and you're not sure where to find it or how to find it, always send us an email, because usually If it's something that we may have a resource available that we can share, and if we don't, we'll try to find you one. And I've seen Melissa a million times. If a student asks a question, she'll try to connect you with the right person, or she'll give you a resource to connect you to the right organization to help with your need. So what we're currently doing right now during the summer is something called Benefits Wednesday. And every Wednesday, the Single Stop staff, we're dedicating our entire day to assisting students to apply for public benefits, which is food stamps or SNAP benefits and health insurance. So here are some of the requirements for health insurance and food stamps. At least if you're under the age of 22, you have to be living independently. If you're over the age of 22, you can be living alone or with a parent. Your income has to be less than $1,700 a month, and that's before taxes. You have to also be a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident for a minimum of 5 years. There are some additional requirements or exceptions, like if you are considered an asylee, there may be exceptions to these rules. But when in doubt, please email us and we will conduct an assessment and we will definitely let you know. In terms of health insurance, of course, over the age 18, income less than $1,400 a month before taxes, and a U.S. citizen or permanent resident for a minimum of 5 years. If there's a chronic health condition in terms of insurance, there may be other exceptions to that because there's a program called MAUD, which is Medical Assistance for Workers with Disabilities. But we can always discuss that if there is ever a need to explore health insurance or food stamps.
Okay, perfect. I wanted to just circle back to one of our services, which is the tax preparation that Tamika was talking about. One thing that you all need to know as students, now that you all are entering college, is that some of you and your families could qualify for the student tax credit. That is an additional $1,000 that you could actually be eligible to receive just because you're college students. So even if you're not working, if you didn't work at all in 2021, when you go to file your taxes next year, if you're filing independently, you can apply for that $1,000 tax credit and actually get up to $1,000 back just for being a student. And if your parents are claiming you on their taxes, they can get that money added to their tax preparation. So that's something that we like to make sure that all students know. And I don't know if any of you have had an experience of filing your taxes before, at like an H&R Block or someplace like that, but they take, a portion of the money as payment for doing your services. So it's kind of a big deal to be able to get your taxes done for free because you're getting all that money back. We want to make sure that our students are getting all the money back, because you all need it. While you're in school, you need, any money, any resources that are available to you. So I just wanted to make sure that I circle back and touched on that a little bit. All right, so these are just a couple of scenarios that I wanted to kind of go over with you all. And just to kind of give you a picture of what we do. So we'll have students that will come in and saying that, after they paid all their bills, they realize that they're kind of running short every month and they need assistance with being able to purchase food for themselves, right? So what we would do is assess the student. Tamika's going to talk to you in a few minutes about how we do the assessment, but that assessment helps us to determine how we can help you. Does the student qualify for food stamps, or do we have to give them some other resources? But if you're a single student, no dependents, and we complete the food stamp application, and we could find that the student could get approved for up to $234 monthly for food stamps. So that's something that would be able to assist them and kind of fill that gap, after they pay all their bills, they still have this food stamp so that they can, don't have to worry about how they're going to purchase food. We also have a lot of students who, once they get their financial aid package and they receive their bookstore credit, they realize that the credit doesn't cover the cost of all their books. There are some books you're going to find that actually it's not an actual textbook, but it's a code that you need to access the book. So we'll have students coming in saying they need, say, $150 for a book code. Once again, we assess the student and then we can help them to complete either an emergency funds application, a fast funds application, something to assist them so that they can get the book that they need in time for classes. And then what happens is that credit goes directly to the bookstore or towards the code, and then the student is able to access what they need. And then another scenario that we see a lot is transportation costs. Sometimes, when students are coming to CCP, they're not factoring in, the cost that it's going to take for them to get back and forth to campus, especially if they have to be on campus 5 days a week. So they'll come in and, say, hey, I don't have any money to, get back and forth. My family isn't able to help me. So with this particular student, if they receive SNAP benefits, which is food stamps, or if their family, their household already receives food stamps, we're able to connect them with a program on campus called KEYS, and they're able to get free monthly transportation through that program. So one thing about our staff is it's important for us to be very knowledgeable about what all the offices do on campus. So that way we can easily make those referrals. We establish relationships within various offices so that, if you were to come into our office and say, this is the issue that I'm having, we're able to connect you with a person and not just say, hey, go over here. We want to make sure that all of your needs are being met and that they're being addressed as seamlessly as possible. All right, so this is just some different ways to look at paying for your education at CCP. Some conventional and then also some kind of non-conventional, some things you might not have thought of. So as far as grants and loans, is there anybody, you can unmute yourself, anybody that knows what the difference is between grants and loans?
I know, but loans loans are pretty much like money that you're gonna have to pay back. Like your student loans, you're gonna have to pay that. You just gonna have to pay that back in a certain amount of time.
Right.
But with grants, that's pretty much money from the government that they pretty much give you for this specific reason, and you ain't gotta worry about paying that back. Just as long as you use that for, just as long as you use it for the specific reason that they gave it for you for.
Right. Exactly. And does anyone know that's very good, Shane. That's exactly right. And does anyone know how soon after you either graduate or leave school that you have to start paying back student loans?
Immediately.
Immediately? Close. It does seem like actually, immediately. So
it's actually I forgot what it's called. I think it's I forgot what it's called. I got a 6 months something period. I don't know. It's a specific name.
I think after you graduate, or
after you so after you graduate or after you leave school, but everybody here is going to graduate, so that's we're going to focus on graduation. So so you're right. 6 months after you graduate, that's when you have to start making arrangements to start paying back your loans. And then that's actually, if you're taking out federal loans, that's actually when you're going to start accruing interest. So what happens is while you're in school, if you have like the government loans, then you don't accrue any interest during your time. So if you borrow $5,000, when you graduate, it's $5,000, but then it'll start having interest. If you take out private loans, while you're in school, that $5,000 might be, $5,600 by the time you graduate because of interest. So, but that's right. That's perfect. So grants, you don't have to pay back. Student loans, you do. Also, some students have jobs where their jobs help them with tuition. So they may have tuition reimbursement. Or, if you actually are able to get a job at a college, say if you were working at CCP, you can actually attend classes for free. And there are a lot of colleges that have those types of programs. Tamika talked with you about the emergency funds. So that's something to look into if you are having an issue, an emergency that has come up and you might need some quick financial help. You should definitely come and see us. Also scholarships. Once you all get into taking your classes and everything, do your best to get, the best grades that you can, because there are a lot of scholarships that CCP offers, and they're competitive. But I mean, if you have a good GPA, you're active, in the campus community, you have a good chance of being able to get some money to subsidize, the cost of your education, where you don't have to take out as many student loans, because you'll want that money freed up, the student loans freed up for you if you decide to, transfer to a four-year institution and beyond, because that's when you start taking out a lot of money. And trust me, I know. So also some unconventional ways, we talked about the food stamps. So say if you're someone that spends, $150, $200 a month on food, whether it's, groceries or if it's eating out. Once we get back to campus, I'm assuming that the food trucks will be back, which, a lot of students will spend a lot of money at the food trucks. But if you're able to get food stamps, that, like I said, is $234 a month that you could be using for food stamps instead of using that cash. And then you have that money that you can put towards something else. There's also, if you're someone that has to pay any utilities, there are utility grants that we can assist with. And then Tamika and I forget who mentioned that about health insurance, but we also connect students with health insurance. We have students that will come in that were taken off of their parents' health insurance for whatever reason. And then when they go to the doctor or to the hospital or whatever, that's when they realize that they don't have insurance because now they have this bill. So, it's really important to check to make sure that you have health insurance. And if you don't, absolutely come and see us. We're not on campus yet, but we have still been assisting students with these applications through Zoom appointments. And then finally, I mentioned the KEYS program. That's a program where if you are a student who already receives food stamps, your family receives food stamps and you're on the grant, then you could be eligible to get free monthly transportation on SEPTA. So, if you know that you may qualify for that, then again, that's something that you should definitely follow up with us and see. And if you're not sure, the best thing for you to do is to complete our assessment, which Tamika is going to talk to you about, because a lot of times students will not realize that they may qualify for something, and then we're able to look at the assessment and the answers that they provided and see, oh, this student, qualifies for food stamps, which means that they then also qualify for free transportation. So as Tamika said earlier, if you're not sure, the best thing to do is check in with us and we'll help you figure that out. All right, so Tamika's just going to talk with you briefly about connecting with us, and then we're here to take any questions you may have.
Okay, there we go. I always have to remember to unmute. So there are several ways to connect with us. And my kids would actually tell you that I probably need to mute more, but there are several ways to connect with us. And we are available via email. Our email address is singlestop@ccp.edu. Again, singlestop@ccp.edu. We're also available on live chat. Now, as of right now, our work study students manage our live chat. We're in the process of hiring new work study students. So once they're in place, then they will be monitoring our live chat from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. But that is something we offer once we have work study students. And also, you can connect with us via our website. And here's our website. It's a HTTPS. Of course, we have /www.ccp.edu, /student support, /single stop. But you can also go to your MyCCP portal. And your MyCCP portal, down the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see, oh, you can leave it, that's fine.
Sorry,
no, that's totally fine because I'm going to jump right into that. So that's perfect.
Okay.
Down the left-hand side of the screen, you're actually going to see there's a tab, Student Quick Links. There's other tabs there. You'll see Connect with Single Stop. You'll click on that, and then if you go to our website or if you connect with us via your MyCCP portal, you'll be taken to our page, and then you scroll to the very bottom of the page. And at the very bottom of the page, you'll see connect with main campus or regional centers. Now, just to let you know, Single Stop has a presence at each of the regional centers. We will have a presence in the West Philadelphia Center, hopefully by 2022 when everything's up and running there. But we have a definite presence at the Northeast Regional Center and the Northwest Regional Center. Sharon is actually the one that you saw in the picture in the very beginning of the slides. She actually runs the regional centers. And you can always stop in and meet with her and receive the same services that you would receive on campus. So you would, regardless of whether you choose main campus or regional center, you'd click on either one of those, and then you'll be taken to a page that looks like this. And this is how you begin to create your profile. I will also tell you that it's create your profile from now if possible. Because what happens is sometimes students find themselves in an emergency and then they're like, oh, I need help. But then, unfortunately, our response is to be able to help you. We actually have to have a profile because we have to be able to connect you with resources. We have to be able to evaluate or assess your current situation. And the profile helps us to do all of that. So if you create your profile from sooner rather than later, then that actually saves you a bunch of time. Also, here's something important to know. Sometimes we have funders who donate money and they'll say, oh, you have 30 days to spend it. So what we do is go through our profile because these are the students we know. And we say, oh, well, we know these students just contacted us. It was okay, we can send money to these students. Or, and even check your emails, because also we'll try to contact you by your CCP email. So check that regularly as well. And it has happened. It happened, I think, in November and December, just this past year, when we were like, oh my gosh, we have to get rid of all this money. What are we going to do? And unfortunately, if you don't have a profile, we don't know who you are, so we can't give you money. So literally, we at some points during the year, we're trying to give away money. So, and I can't say that often. So,
and we did. And one of the first groups that we said was CME students. I do remember that. It was like, let's call Derek. We need to give this money. So, yeah.
Exactly. We love CME. So, absolutely, you guys are always on our minds. And so you start your profile by entering in your zip code. Then from there, the system requests additional demographic information. So it wants to know your age. If you're comfortable identifying your ethnicity, your preferred, whatever your preferred gender is, that's fine. If you prefer not to identify, that's fine as well. And then it would ask for your family composition. Do you work full-time, part-time? Do you receive any benefits currently? And then once you complete the profile, you have to actually complete it all the way through. Then you'll see a link that says, are you ready to submit your profile? And once you click that, that's how you know your profile is complete. Otherwise, your profile will be incomplete. And if you say you complete your profile, we'll go in and we won't see it. And we'll be like, did you? We have to kind of search. So just make sure you complete it all the way through. And then you will receive a response from us, like, thank you for connecting with Single Stop. Please feel free to ask us any questions, or we see that you're eligible for benefits. Please email us to learn more. So that is a great way to connect with us as well. And then you also have our contact information. So again, get in touch with us. This is when we're on campus, we're located in the Mint building in room M121. Our phone number is 215-516-3710. But just to let you know, right now, we're all working virtually. So the easiest way to connect with us, again, is through our email address, which is at the bottom of the page. If you're not sure if you're going to need it, take a picture of this screen with your phone so that you'll have all this information in case you ever need us, or in case you ever want to refer someone to us. We are always here. We help all students. Your privacy is our top concern. And honestly, the one thing I've heard Melissa even say in the past, which is very true, many of us who work at Single Stop have been in similar situations, or we understand. And our goal is to empathize and provide the support you need so that you can graduate. Okay, and I love this quote that Melissa has: self-empowerment is seeking the solution, not fixating on the problem. I love that. So we're all about finding the answers to challenges and helping you overcome that. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask away.
Yes, ma'am.